everybody. Good evening. I don't think my microphone is working. Hold on. All right. Yeah, now it's working better. For some reason, I don't know what it is here on Streamlabs. It'll say that it has this microphone set up, but then it won't have that microphone set up. So all right. So here we are. Welcome to another primary day. We'll see what's going to happen tonight. I'm starting this late because I want to wait for the California primary. I really don't care about much of what's happening in the way of New Jersey and whatnot. But this race here in New Jersey is going to be quite interesting to watch. There's a ton of candidates. But I believe, if I'm correct, Adam Hamaway is like the progressive candidate. I'm not sure. People can correct me on that, but I'm mostly here, honestly, for the U.S. Senate primary here. Zach Walz and Josh Turek. Uh, I mean, this has been a good campaign. This has been a good back and forth between the two. I think whoever you are, if you're the Democrats, whatever candidate comes out tonight, and people are saying Josh Turek because there was like one poll that said Turek was in the lead, and everybody jumps on that. And it's just so sad about polls. Like, right? We blast and blast Atlas Intel. And then all of a sudden, Mehdi Hassan, because it said AOC was number one, he's like, look at this poll. And it's just like, really, dude? Come on. It's the reason why I'm not in politics anymore, because people don't want the truth. They just want to get the data that agrees with their position. Anyway, so we'll see what happens with Turek and Walz here. If I were, oh, here we go. We already got some results in. And we can see Turek is way in the lead now. So Dubuque, we have Turek up by 71%. Now remember, he's from out here in Potawatomi County. Or is he actually from Mills County? He's from one of these counties here. So it looks like he's already dominating with rural Democrats, even in eastern Iowa. So that is huge. I also was going to look at the second congressional district because this is the one that Democrats have the highest likelihood of actually picking up. So we'll be keeping an eye on that. But this is the race we'll probably be watching. We'll be watching the most here today. So we got a few counties in here in Iowa. We got Dubuque. We got Lee County. And this is like this area right here is like right wing area. Like when you drive from here to Des Moines, that's where you see in people's yards, like billboards saying abortion is a sin. Like not on the highway or whatever, like literally in people's front yards, right? So you're probably not going to get a huge amount of votes coming out here. Now, if we look at the Republican race, well, this is going to be something we're going to want to keep an eye on. I mean, though, the Republican Senate race is not competitive. So we might see a lot more people vote in the Democratic race. So we might not want to look too much into the total votes. But yeah, when it comes to this race, I think whatever candidate wins, I think it'll be good for the Democrats. I think you really could pick either one here. So we'll keep an eye and see what happens in Iowa. Okay, and then this one here, this was another establishment versus, I believe, progressive. The establishment won because the Menendez name is such a trusted name in New Jersey. Jeez. And then there's some other ones as well. So we have the Iowa governor's race here, where this one should be, this should be pretty much a no-brainer. Now, remember with California today, I mean, it's California. It takes them 2.5 years to count votes. So we might not have an actual like an actual vote total until 2-3 days from now. And depending on how this stream goes, I might end it quickly anyways. And personally for me, I'm kind of more interested in what happened. So we got some from, okay, well that's it. It's over now. If Turk is winning in Polk County, the race is over. Turk's going to be the nominee. So now we just got to wait for California. So that was quick. I mean, that's the county I was waiting to come in first. Polk, I was like, if Turk's winning in Polk, then yeah, then it's over. And it's not even close in Polk too. I mean, Turk had the establishment Democrats on his side from the beginning. Walz was pretty much the progressive candidate. But I still think both are good. So we'll see what happens. Now there's just nothing to do for the next 2 hours. Yeah, and this is not even looking like it's going to be close. But we will keep an eye on there because I don't know if there's competitive primaries in some congressional seats for the Republicans, like the second, but it's not going to be competitive. And I don't think the first, the third, or probably the fourth. Okay, Tropical. I can't see the rest of the name. Thank you very much for the super chat. So if it's over for this race, can we research the historical reasons for those not quite square counties in Iowa? They're square above and below that row. Oh yeah, you mean like right here? I mean, I don't know what the deal is with that. It's interesting. I see, but you also have it here too. So it's up here and it's down here. That's interesting. Any chance of Steyer and Becerra being the top two? That's what we're going to watch for tonight, isn't it? Hilton isn't a shoo-in. And the question really becomes, are a lot of people going to ditch, Katie Porter and the others and start doing strategic voting? Schwartz, thank you very much for the $20 super chat. Greatly, greatly appreciate it. As a lifelong California independent, I was torn, but voted for Tom. Much as I don't trust the rich, Tom is more than willing to push for change. I like Becerra's single payer support, but it seems like I got to get I got to get some glasses in general. But it seems he got bought out. Keep strong and thanks. Yeah, I mean, Steyer, here's the thing with Steyer that I really like. When Steyer, a few weeks ago, I mentioned it. So I did on my election history channel. And one of the reasons why I'm going to be doing less on this channel is my election history one is starting to blow up, to be quite honest with you. I'm getting a lot of people over on election history watching. So I've had about over 100,000 views on that channel over the last 6 days, last 5 days, actually. And I did a video about the political history, or the 29 candidates who ran in 2020, with Tom Steyer being one of those. And Tom Steyer, right when I made that video, which was about a month and a half ago, maybe, he came out and said, Bernie Sanders was right about single payer healthcare. I was wrong. Bernie Sanders was right. It wasn't some sort of him high trying to, I mean, the fact that he said I was wrong and Bernie was right, to me, that took a lot of guts. So yeah, we'll see what happens with this situation. California will be interesting tonight. I think the question is, do those Katie Porter just dropped from the sky. She just dropped. Is she going to be able to, or are her voters going to abandon jump ship and maybe go over to Steyer? Because I think, we really don't know who's going to even be first or second. It could be Hilton and Steyer. It could be Becerra and Hilton. It could be Becerra and Steyer, right? It's one of those three combinations. That's who it'll be. Turk looks like he's going to win the Iowa primary. He's won it, right? If Turk has won Polk County, and we got more votes in now, he's won it. It's over. Zach Walz is not going to win it. But I like both of these candidates. I'm not disappointed regarding who won this thing. Both candidates are good, strong candidates in this, and that works for me. That's a good thing. So we'll see. Oh yeah, now it's just gone up again to 82%. Yeah, this is done. Kind of surprised I haven't called it yet, to be honest. Because if he's winning Polk by, if Josh Turk is winning Polk by 63%. Oh, here we go. We got Walz now winning with one vote in Woodbury County, right? I would hate to be that voter, because if that was one precinct, or if that was the only person who did early voting or whatever, now the person knows who was voted for based on that. But yeah, this is over. This is done. Yep. So Blackhawk County, Turk is up by 70. Like I said, Dubuque. We still have Scott County that we got to, it's maybe Johnson. Where is, there it is, Johnson County. That'll be interesting to see how that goes too, because that's the Liberal Student Center at the University of Iowa, with half of the students being from Chicago, let's be honest. Yeah, let's go over to that New Jersey 12th. How much is in? 55. It's close. So, is it Hamaway, how you pronounce it? I don't know, but I know he's the progressive, or I assume he's the progressive. He's first. That's good. Jersey's really turning around as a state for progressives, I'll tell you that. Even though Menendez just won over here. So we'll see what happens there. Now, this is interesting. Okay, we expect this one was going to be a competitive race. Josh Turk versus Zach Walz. This was going to be a competitive race. But Ashley Hinson versus Jim Carlin, it's like, why aren't they calling this race yet? This one's easily a win. Now, Jim Carlin. Now, if I remember correctly, Jim Carlin is a current or former state senator in Iowa, and he has been like a perennial candidate at the statewide level, but he has held public office, I think, in the state Senate. The fact that Hinson is losing and he identifies as a Trump Republican or whatever. He's not like a never Trumper or anything like that. He's just as batshit crazy as she is, okay? The fact that 23% of the people are saying, we don't really know if we like her, where it's coming to the point now, I think, with a lot of the Republican numbers that we see, those going against who the eventual frontrunner is, or whoever wins the primary, like who's deemed to win it, like Ashley Hinson here, I think those are going to be dissenting voices that might not show up to vote. They won't vote for Turek in this race, but they just might not show up. And that's that big Cornyn vote. That Cornyn vote was not insignificant last week, right? That was a pretty significant vote. But I do love how all the people in the media and stuff like that are now starting to say, oh, Iowa could be a state that flips. What? I made a video about that in 2025 saying that Iowa should be a state that everyone should watch. Now everyone's watching it. At least, hey, I'd rather you be late to the party than not at the party at all. Okay. Yeah, this is, I think Mills is where Turek's from. I think. Or maybe it's Potawatomi. I don't know which one it is. It's one of the two. But this is a neighboring one, 81%. So yeah. Is Rob Menendez related to disgraced Bob Menendez? Yeah, it's a son. Um I just don't fucking get New Jersey. See, people are saying 30% of Cornyn voters will vote for Talrico. I don't believe that. Okay. What did I tell you before with the whole okay? I hate to beat this drum. I beat the shit out of it in 2024. And no one would listen to just say, Dave, you're wrong. Though I ended up being right. They were like, Dave, you're wrong. I'm telling you, the Republicans for Democrats thing is a fucking myth. It has always been a myth. It will be a myth, except for in the first congressional district of Florida. So maybe, but that's in a primary. Okay. And it's in a special election. Well, no, that was in a special election, not a primary. But it's not going to happen. For those who think that there's going to be this mass exodus of Republicans going over to the Democrats, it's not going to happen. Though I will admit the first congressional district in Florida does make me wonder if there is some change. So I might have to actually walk that back a little bit. I'll admit that. Okay. I don't know if I'm having internet issues because it said chat disconnected. Please wait while we try to reconnect you. So who knows? Yeah, this is over. Well, it's Johnson County here where University of Iowa is, and Story County, Ames, Iowa, where Iowa State is. That's where Zach Walz could maybe get some votes. But it's over. It's over. I don't know why they haven't called it yet. Let's go back to this. This race hasn't really moved at all. Polls close at 11. Jesus Christ. And this, Josh Turek is getting more votes. No, Feenstra is struggling. Oh, he is now. Okay, let's look at this one, because when I looked at it before the first time, Feenstra was like massively in the lead. I was like, okay, this is an issue. But yeah, that's getting a little bit close. Not a little bit close, a lot close. And if I recall, no, I think it's Montana. Or no, it's South Dakota. In South Dakota, I think they have a runoff rule that if a candidate doesn't get like 37% or some number like that, that it then goes to a runoff. If one single candidate doesn't get like 37%. It's almost kind of like the rule in France that if candidates don't get over, if the top candidate doesn't get over a certain threshold, then you don't have a runoff of 2, you have a runoff with possibly 3 or more. We saw that in the last French election. Oh, okay. So, yeah. Yeah, because he is Trump endorsed. Right. Tonight's bad for Democrats, isn't it? Like, how? How is it bad for Democrats? It's a primary. Okay, it's bad for Democrats. Okay. Um, there is no, it's, I mean, it's a Democrat versus a Democrat or a Republican versus Republican. We'll see what happens in California. That's a whole different story. But here it's just kind of like it's it's just a primary, right? Okay, 35% in South Dakota. Okay. But it's not like 33.3%. It's not like a third, right? It's 35. So that's still like 2% higher. Oh, he's actually increased his lead. Let's go back to the New Jersey 12th. He's increased his lead to, I mean, look at how many candidates. I know this Susan Altman is like a progressive or something. So you got a ton of candidates there. And we're at 68%. Before that was at like 56%. So we are getting more there. Let's go to the Iowa. So this is another one. Joe Mitchell was the Trump endorsed candidate. Now, this is for Hinson's district. Now, to me, I said this a year ago. I said, watch Iowa. I said, watch the U.S. Senate race and watch 3 congressional districts. I truly believe that the Democrats can pull out 3 congressional districts out of Iowa, 1, 2, and 3. They can pull those out if they wanted to. I'll just check something really quick. Just kind of interested. It could have been this year. Kind of interested when I did when I might have made my video about watching Iowa. So November 16th, 2025. That's when I did the Iowa one, saying, can Democrats flip the U.S. Senate seat in Iowa? So I've been harping on this one for a long time. And it's happening. I guess we'll go to the Iowa governor's race, Republican race. This is the one that is kind of the most impressive. Now, one thing we might want to see is in these other, see, I wish they could, you could, if they had this really good, it would be cool if you can parse this out by congressional district, right? Because Feenstra, let's see where he does well and see where he does poorly. My assumption is he'll do well up here because this is ultra Republican right wing Nutville. But it'll be interesting to see where how he does in other parts. Oh, they did? Oh. Did more votes come in? Well, there you go. So yeah, that's another win. Still don't know why they haven't called this for Turek yet, because this is a win. All right, so the New Jersey House, get a progressive in there, and get a progressive in there, and then this is one that, you know, is a good win for the Democrats. Oh yeah, I wanted to see how Deb Haaland was doing. Okay, she won. I mean, I assume she would because she just has a huge name recognition. Yeah, I think the Iowa governor's race is the only one for the next 2.5 hours. Jesus Christ, 2.5 hours to watch. Is okay. See, somebody says my internet's glitching. I probably have internet problems because, like I said, it said that the chat disconnected earlier. And so, yeah, I probably have some issues. Oh, I'm probably having issues. I mean, if I'm having issues with the internet, I'm probably having issues with the stream, right? So, um, yeah, Feenstra is the congressman from the fourth. So, yeah. To give you an idea why I'm focusing significantly more on my election history channel, over the last 7 days, I've had 1,064 new subscribers. This channel, Voting Trend, I've lost like 8. It's just if you're not constantly giving people election crack every day, you lose subscribers. So, yeah, my priority is the election history channel. Yeah, you know what? Those are like, because you do get those YouTube channels that kind of have these boundary anomalies that you hear about. Those would be some interesting boundary anomalies, because the question is, right? Are they weird because they're going this way, or are they weird because they're going north south? Could it be a north south thing or an east west thing? You don't know. Election crack would be a good name for a channel. Yeah, I mean, I'm just not going to do this every day. You know, I'm not going to, just not going to do it every day. This is starting to be a gap now. I mean, there's not that many votes in, but it's starting to be a gap now. 30 minutes until we finally get results in California. No, I'm pretty sure it's an hour and a half, right? No, I'm pretty sure it's an hour and a half, not 30 minutes. So I was looking at 11 o'clock, that's Eastern time. It's 10 o'clock my time. No, but the election slop has really, really gotten bad. It really has. Like, there was something, I don't know if you've seen this. There was something going on around on Twitter. So I guess we'll just do commentary for a little bit while we're waiting. There was something, and it still might be going around Twitter. I saw Occupy Democrats have this, talking about how some reporter, when Trump said that person was a horrible reporter, the reporter said, "You're a horrible president," and then Trump got mad. It's like, no proof of this ever happening, right? And this is why I've gotten out of politics. Is, I hate to say it, the left is getting just okay. The Republicans are corrupt, evil, angry pieces of shit, right? Republicans don't want to like help people by giving them health care and stuff like that. They just want everyone but them to be miserable. That's who Republicans are. But the Democrats, when it comes to this, just lying for no fucking reason. Like Dave Pakman. Is that his name? David Pakman? Like, he was on, he had a video the other day that said YouTube is cutting us, right? YouTube is not giving us, more views. And it's like, dude, I can just go to Social Blade and see how many views you're getting a day. You're not getting cut. And if you're saying that YouTube isn't giving you enough impressions, why don't you lay out your data and show, hey, they're not giving us the impressions. He didn't show his data. And a few other channels have been doing this. And with the exception of one, which I think is called the Romano Report, where it looks like he might be losing views since since April. Like all the other ones, they're not losing views. Their views are the same. And if they're saying that they're getting less impressions, but their view numbers are the same, then you're actually getting a better click through rate. So, Hamaway. Okay, that's what I thought. Let's get a little closer again. Yeah, they call Turk the winner here. I mean, is Walz not even going to win a single county? You know, and this is something that like progressives need to realize is that actually I think I can do yes, I can do this. Look at that. How beautiful is that? Whoa, what's going on here? Okay. There's one thing that I mean, I would say Walz was the progressive, but here's the thing: you're not going to be able to run a progressive everywhere. But Tom Harkin was very much a progressive and represented Iowa in the Senate for many years. Polls close in Montana in 30 minutes. I got one Montana race up there, the House District 1 race. Don't know why I got it up there, but I do have it up there. Well, let's see how Polymarket does tonight, right? They're when it comes to the low-hanging fruit, they do well, but when it comes to the actual competitive races, let's see. No, no, I mean Walz was the underdog in that race. There's no doubt about it. Walz was the underdog in that race. But like I said, this was a race where I mean, whoever the candidate is, I think is going to be a good choice. I think either candidate could take on Hinton now, or Hinson, excuse me, take on Hinson now. It's the only state where I can say all the candidates are really good. Will I mean Graham Plantner? I kind of came around to him after. If you remember, I used to slam the shit out of Graham Plantner because I didn't trust him. Okay. I did not. As soon as the Nazi tattoo thing came out, I'm like, really, dude? You didn't fucking know? I'm still calling bullshit on that now with all the other stuff coming out. But it's everything with this guy. It's like, oh, I'm a poor white child. No, your mom owns a nice fancy restaurant. She's giving your ass a job, being an oyster farmer so you can bring him to her restaurant. Your dad gives you a $200,000 loan for your house. I mean, that's not far off from Donald Trump saying, I had a small $1 million loan, right? Then all the sexting shit coming out. I don't trust the dude. Will I vote for him if I were a main voter? Yes, because I'm not going to vote for a Republican. But it will be interesting to see how many protest votes Janet Mills gets on the ballot. That's something that we're going to watch. But I always said I couldn't trust the guy. You guys, if you watch those streams in the past, remember, I slammed him. And this is another problem I have with politics, is that the whole idea of decorum or holding people to account. I mean, Trump shifted the Overton window on normality when it was a window that shouldn't have been shifted in the first place. It should be either this is fucked up or this is not fucked up. What Graham Plantner is being accused of, or even readily admitting, is pretty fucked up. Okay? But yet Trump's moved this Overton window that even now the liberals and the Democrats are sitting there going, we don't give a shit as long as it's our guy. Right. And to me, if the Democrats are just going to play the Republicans game like that, I don't want to be involved with it. One of the reasons I vote Democrat is I kind of hope that we have the higher moral standing when it comes to things like this. So, yeah. So it'll be interesting with the primary to see if there are a number of protest votes that are actually cast during that primary. And one of the reasons why I don't want to do a lot of videos on this channel is because I just won't slop all over, people like Plantner. Just won't do that. And it really became bad after the last election. That after the last election, you really saw a lot of people just toting the same line, right? Like you had that one channel, the I've Had It channel. I call them the Chardonnay sisters, right? You have them, and it's just like vitriolic crap. Not saying that they're wrong, though they've been wrong many times. And see, this is one of the problems I have. There's so many things that a lot of these people are doing going, well, that's proven wrong. That's proven wrong. There's no evidence for this. There's no evidence for that. The Midas touch is the worst. Trump has done the worst thing ever. And like I said, he farted in public or some shit like that. Politics is getting really fucking childish in the United States. That's how I describe it. Childish. I think that the handwriting and the hand wringing about the tattoos and texts are just nothing burgers. Well, fuck around and find out, right? You'll see. I don't think. I mean, I think for jaded Democrats that yes, they'll think that, but I think the voters, they've voted for Susan Collins for a long time, and they'll do it again. Don't. I don't know. I think that, I mean, the Democrats are screwed. This shit should have came out before Janet Mills dropped out. But so yeah, I mean, I don't know. I thought I always had this feeling, and here's another thing. Let's go beyond it, right? Because no one's really talking about this. Let's go a little bit beyond it. If we can't trust Plantner as far as him being truthful about, oh, I'm a poor white child, but you're not. You went to a prestigious school. Your lawyer father gave you $200,000 and all these other things. How can we trust him to really be there to support progressive values, if you are a progressive, to support progressive values in Congress? If I can't trust you on that, how can I trust you with what you're saying about the actual issues? How do I know you're not just pulling shit out of your ass in order to win? Okay, that's a legitimate question. Fine, he wins, but what if he's the next Fetterman? That's an issue. So yeah. Well, Zach Land here is still, well, we still got a lot of Iowa to come in, but we'll keep an eye on this until California. I mean, you got to realize one thing about the whole. Okay, first of all, okay, let's talk about two things with the the sexting that has happened. First of all, he hasn't been married to his wife for that long. Second of all, and I have an Instagram profile that I go on maybe once a month, right? I have a Facebook profile because just for two reasons: to be in touch with friends and family, and to be part of this one Slovak citizenship group, right? Which I don't need to worry about because I am now a citizen. That's the only two reasons I'm on Facebook. Twitter, I am not on. And like, I literally cannot get on when I'm on my phone. If somebody sends me a Twitter link, I can't get it. I have to download Twitter. I refuse to do that. I am on Blue Sky. Sometimes I'm active, sometimes I'm not. I'm not a person that is into the online world, right? Or the social media world, or whatever. I do watch videos like, what is that wavy surfer guy? I like those because they're funny. There are some like Charlie and stuff like that are kind of, I think, kind of interesting. And from those videos, I've been able to realize that the app Kik is not necessarily the best thing you want to be on if you're trying to pick up women. Mostly because of the age situation. Now if you're worried about Graham Plattner, don't worry about that he's sending these messages to people. I'm wondering who he's sending them to and what age they were. The fact that he's on Kik doing this, that's not good. That's not good. So I don't know if something else will drop, but yeah, that's, we'll see. That's why I'm saying it might not be as much of a nothing burger as you think. It might get Epsteinish. Okay? It might get Epsteinish. And there's a point where I'm kind of wondering, did the Republicans boost up Plattner to get Mills to drop out because they had all this shit on him? Who knows? The Kik age thing is a point parroted by the actual GOP. Is it incorrect? And if it is, tell me why it's incorrect. This is why I don't get involved with politics anymore. If people just cannot accept, like, if you're already just like, oh, I'm not going to listen to it, la 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 la, then you're gonna fucking lose. Okay, you gotta learn how to accept new information or accept information in general and actually say, okay, now I got to think of that, right? Not just say, oh, Republican talking point, right? So now again, like I said, if I were in Maine and it's Plattner versus Collins, I'll vote for Plattner. Don't trust the fucking guy, but I'd vote for him. Because I wouldn't vote for a Republican to save my life. If you still identify with the Republican Party right now, you are, I don't know, I just think you're a horrible person that like seeing people hurt. I mean, Fetterman was a fuck up, right? Fetterman snowed everyone. Which is why I've never really been into, there's the point of real working class and there's the point of fake working class. Real working class is AOC. Okay? AOC would have been a server in Plattner's mother's restaurant, not the owner or the provider of oysters for Plattner's mother's restaurant. Which, by the way, like a French onion soup costs like $19 there. Or no, a Caesar salad costs $19. Plain Caesar salad with nothing on it. But it goes to the point when we talk about Janet Mills, and we can talk about Janet Mills, the question then comes to the real crux of the problem, I think, which is that the Democrats have. Okay, I'm going to take this back a little bit because I think here in this race, Josh Turek versus Zach Walz, the Democrats got it. They figured it out. Oh yeah, see, Walz actually is winning in Johnson County, so my guess is Iowa State's a little bit more of a conservative campus compared to University of Iowa. So maybe he keeps well, actually no. Zach Walz is the senator from, he's a state senator from Johnson County. That's what it is. That's where he's from. But this was a good one, right? Two good candidates running against each other. One of the biggest problems that the Democrats have right now is candidate recruitment. It is a huge problem, candidate recruitment. And until they try to figure out how to deal with that, they're going to have, they're going to have issues. Reagan was originally a union man. Reagan also said in his last line before he got shot in DC, "Make America Great Again." And who is he addressing? The AFL-CIO. So yeah. Yeah, this gap is staying here. This gap is really staying here. Let's see how this goes. I mean, Sherrod Brown, Mary Peltola, Roy Cooper are all pretty good candidates. Yeah. Sherrod Brown, I'm still, I think it's going to be more of a situation where Houston can lose it. Roy Cooper is a good candidate. Peltola is a good candidate as well. Right. I'm not saying that, and this is why I'm pointing out Iowa. I'm not saying it's bad everywhere, but it's bad in a lot of places. Right. It just seems like the op research isn't that great sometimes. All this stuff, I mean, maybe with the exception of the sexting with Plattner, all this other stuff could have been done through op research. Really, it could have been. Kristen Cinema. So somebody here says Bush Jr. was way more conservative than Reagan. Again, I really think it depends on what issue you're talking about, right? Because Reagan was like I mean, he really is the most conservative president that we've had in, when it comes to economics. I mean, I like I said, there are very few people now as far as politics I watch. I mean, I've abandoned almost every single one of the people on the left. I don't listen to any podcast. I don't watch any of that stuff. I mean, obviously Jon Stewart, Seth Meyers, stuff like that. But the only one who's on YouTube is Leisha Miller. She's the only one that I watch. And every single show, she has a t-shirt that says Reagan ruined everything. And it's true. Reagan did ruin everything. And right now, before we were doing this, I was editing my video, which is going to be the next video that comes out on Thursday. So if you're a Patreon member or a member of my election history channel, You'll see that tomorrow, sometime tomorrow, about the 1980 Republican nomination. Polymarket just flipped. Of course it did, because it's so reactionary. It'd be funny if it flipped back. I'll bet $100 super chat that Plattner takes Maine at 55%. Maine has, I mean, I don't gamble, so Maine has statewide oppositional defiance disorder. Tell them no, that's where they go. I don't know. I feel I disagree, because I would say that Angus King, Olympia Snowe before him, Susan Collins, for the most part, have been about as stable and middle of the road and establishment ish, even though King is an independent, as you can get. They did have LePage as governor. I believe he's running for the second congressional district now, which would be horrible. They don't have the rock the boat candidates, especially for the U.S. Senate. So I don't know if that's, again, yeah. Reagan shut down federal funding for mental institutions. That's like literally one of the first things that he did. If you want to know why we do have a lot of homeless people in this country that are not mentally stable, it goes back to Reagan. But then the question is, what have the Democrats done the whole time? Did I ever consider running for office when I was younger? Yeah, I actually did technically. I ran against Dan Webster for the Florida House of Representatives, but then I ended up dropping out. That's been back when Orange County was really Republican. Now I just want to clean my hands of all politics. I mean, I don't want Feenstra to win, but he might just come back and flip this thing, and the Polymarket people will look like morons. Yeah, but here's the thing with here's the thing though. Susan Collins's wishy-washiness saves her from not being a Trump person. I think the backlash are going to be against Trump candidates like Paxton, but I don't know if that's going to translate to Susan Collins. So, you know, I will see how it plays out, because I truly believe that you are going to see so many negative ads. And everyone says, "Oh, you tell the Mainers to do one thing, they'll do the other." You can literally say that for every state, right? I could say that here for Illinois. You tell Illinoisans to do one thing, we'll say, "Fuck you, we're going to do the other thing." You can say that about New Yorkers, people from Boston, maybe not California, because California people they seem more calm and relaxed, or maybe the West in general. But like in the East, it's like, go to Philly, go to other places, maybe not the South. But yeah, you could say that for a lot of places. Howard didn't ruin everything. Once the Port Arthur massacre happened, he was like, "We don't need the guns." And the people in Australia were like, "Okay, we don't need the guns." Right? I mean, then you got Bob Catter up there in Queensland and Kennedy doing all his stuff, but But yeah. See, that's what I do. I'm way more interested in what happens in Australian elections and Canadian elections and American elections. That's why if I can get my election history channel going, wouldn't mind doing the other races. Seeing that, I mean, that's, and then getting Gray Davis 2.0 is, I mean, and I made a video, I made a whole entire video about that as well on my election history channel, the recall. And it's like, this is one of the problems. Granted, the Democrats needed to do the impeachment, but it's just kind of like, I don't know. Decorum, institutions don't matter anymore. Let's be honest, institutions don't matter. I mean, at least Nancy Pelosi will be out of there. Now, this is getting closer and closer, this Iowa race. Okay, Zuma ruined everything. I don't know South African politics. I don't know Indian politics, really. Um, I mean, Thatcher, yes. Oh, yeah, Gray Davis was not. I mean, Cruz Bustamante wouldn't have been much better. I mean, Arnold Schwarzenegger won purely off of personality. He had no views. He didn't stand for anything at all. All right, so it's 9 o'clock. So we got this Montana House seat. If anyone knows about this Montana House seat, go ahead and let me know about it. Oh, it is Zinke's seat. Okay. I didn't think it was his seat. Yeah. Then I just looked at the map and I'm like, oh, yeah, that's his seat. Okay. I mean, if there, I mean, this could be this Montana one, because Zinke himself, if I remember, was it 2022 or 2024 that he barely won it? 2022, he barely won it. 49.6, 46.5, right? So I know AOC went and helped somebody. Was it the Sam Force, or was that a Senate? I don't know. I know AOC went to Montana. Is it the Sam Forstag that she went to help? I think so. I don't remember. Yeah, Montana's a state I'd like to visit more. But until we get some results here, let's go over to the Iowa governor's race because we do have votes coming in there. And that's getting closer and closer. That's a point I always tell people. Bill Clinton may have been more progressive early on. Whenever people tell me about Bill Clinton, I go, he raised taxes on the rich. On the which? On the rich. Went from 35 to 39.5%. He introduced an assault weapons ban. He wanted to have a Canadian style universal healthcare system. That's the most progressive I've had in my lifetime. Boardman, you must be way behind because I mentioned Australia a while ago. And see what the weird thing is about the right, the far right in a lot of these countries is we're talking about people who have been around for a while. Everyone has known who they are. Like Pauline Hanson, right? In Australia. Pauline Hanson's been around forever. And yet it's now that she's all of a sudden just popping up there. I mean, luckily for labor is we'll see these splits that if in the two-party preferred it's labor versus one nation, labor's going to win it. I think we saw that in the South Australia election a few months ago, right? I think that Obama, where I will give up, this is open up a little bit of a gap. Obama, I they fucking went after the guy for wearing a tan suit. Right? Like no matter what he did, he was going to be criticized for it. And now the media is getting worse. I mean, like now the media is really, really getting bad. The both sidesism happening from the media is just to the point of, I mean, really, before I did this live stream, I had to check and see who the candidates were, except for this Iowa one because I had been following it, and California, of course, because I've just checked out of politics in the United States. I can't watch any of the news regarding politics because the both sidesism has become so bad that it's just like absolute shit to follow. Yeah, I mean, federal labor isn't as strong, but with the liberals and the nationals doing whatever the hell they're doing, it's kind of like I think they would win by default, right? Don't be surprised if those two split again. See, I don't mind if so somebody says that Zach Lon is or Lan is endorsed by Steve King. It's interesting because his district was the one that Randy Feenstra is from, right? I don't mind if the right wing conservatives endorse. The problem I have with Trump is the fucking corruption. It's not the right wingness. Okay, it's the corruption. In the United States and American people go, okay, yeah, it's Tuesday, let's go with the corruption. I mean, it's just ridiculous. Yeah, that's why I'm not sure. Like the liberals and the nationals, they're just constantly doing this all the time. So we'll see. Yeah, I'm way more interested in Australian politics than American politics, to be quite honest. And they are thinking of making a law, or they're working on one right now, that people from the EU can work and live in Australia for 4 years and vice versa, that they can go, like Australians can go to the European Union. If that happens, I'm going to Australia for 4 years and trying to secure a job. And like I would be 100% Australian politics, really. I'm starting to wonder if Iowa Democrats are doing Operation Chaos in Iowa. They're first of all, there's never really been any evidence that stuff like that happens. Second of all, the Democrats had a competitive primary today. Maybe not as competitive as we think. We have some Montana results, I think. There we go. Let's get in here. Well, we'll just showed it for a second. Now they went away. Oh, wait, now it's back now. Oh, come on. Oh, okay. A whopping 362 votes. See, and the what I like about Australian politics is Australian politics is brutal, but keeps it within the realm of politics. Here, the problem is it's like everyone identifies as a Democrat or Republican or something. It's like part of our culture, part of our heritage, which I fucking hate. It's a political choice, right? But like in Australia, I'm sorry, leadership spills are kind of like one of the most brutal things that there are, especially when you had those ones between Julia Gillard and Kevin Rudd when they went back and forth. Those were some brutal leadership spills. And, Paul Keating and Bob Hawke. Those were, because there were two basically right next to each other. Hawke won the first one and then Keating won the second one. That was just like, those spills are brutal. But if I hear there's a leadership spill, I get ABC on because you can get live. I can get ABC Live. I get on ABC News and just watch the news. I don't care if it's 2 a.m. I'm watching that leadership spill. Okay. BG the Kid, thank you very much for your super chat. I despise Jake Tapper, Alex Thompson to get off the tee on Biden with no pushback except from Hunter. Bidens aren't blameless, but a lot of Democrats love Joe. Yeah, a lot of Democrats do love Joe. I don't consider myself a Democrat anymore. I very much consider myself an independent. Canadian politics. My master's degree is from McGill in Canadian politics. So, So I love Canadian politics. And we got the referendum coming up with Danielle Smith giving like one of the worst answers saying, I'll let it happen, but I'm not really for it and all that. I haven't seen of Jason Kenney or anyone, or Stephen Harper is the one that everybody's waiting to hear from. All I'll say is Australia is proof that unions didn't cause the late 1970s recession like what Western conservatives claim it is. Right. That's true. And then Thatcher decimated that economy. She, like, going to the UK, she absolutely decimated it. Reagan ruined everything. But if you're British, who ruined the country more? Margaret Thatcher or Ronald Reagan? Yeah. All right, we're starting to get a few votes, and this is a three-way race. Keeping an eye on that Iowa one. We have 47 minutes until the polls close in California. I don't know how quickly they'll get numbers. I'm kind of surprised with Iowa how I'm surprised Story hasn't come in. I didn't expect it to be this much of a blowout, to be honest. I thought it'd be like 54-46. This shows that Turek has some electoral power. It's kind of well, that was April. Who is Bodner? I'll look at the Montana Senate race. I don't know who Bodner is. Yeah, Iowa's closed primary. Yeah. Yeah, that's true. So they couldn't have done that anyway because they do register by party there. That is correct. I totally forgot about that. Oh, I don't think Democrats can win statewide in Montana right now. Not anymore. This is one thing people need to realize. Shit changes, right? And, I was talking to somebody yesterday about it. Kartik Krishnaiyer. I was talking to him about it. He's one that has done live streams with me in the past and whatnot. I said, nowadays, Newt Gingrich could not win his old congressional district. Phil Crane in Illinois could not win his old congressional district today, right? Hell, not even like 10, 15 years ago. So things change. And I think one of the biggest problems with people in politics is they think that election results are static. Well, if that were the case, then we'd always know who wins, you know? But ask the PRI in Mexico, it doesn't last forever. Yeah, Dems can win Montana 1. And I think Zinke being the candidate is good. Seriously, I should just bet in Polymarket because I'd probably be fucking rich, but I don't gamble because I'm not a degenerate, so I won't do that, but Jesus Christ. Because I'm usually calling these damn things. It's a close one so far. My guess, I mean, unless somebody else knows, it's really going to be Missoula County that's probably going to give Forstag numbers because that's University of Montana, right? So we'll see. No, I mean, like, personally, I've just come to the point that, like, honestly, talking about politics gives me a headache. I mean, I don't mind when, like, all of you in the chat here, because I think the points and a lot of things you bring up are really, really good. Like I'm looking at what's happening in my chat right now. I'm like, these are people who know, you know, what's going on, right? People who know things, right? These degenerate gamblers just look at some poll from Atlas Intel and go, oh, I'm going to put my money there. History lover? Yes, that is correct. I mean, so someone just made a comment. I think if we ran social conservatives in states, moderate Democrats can't win. We get those near FDR numbers. Maybe the problem is, to me, everything's become so cultish nowadays. Bozeman is, yes. Bozeman is what I'm thinking of. This, it's Harv, but it's, I guess, Haver, is how they pronounce it. That's the only place I've been to in there, because I was taking the train going over to Seattle. I mean, here's the problem. You can't run social conservatives because I'll lose a Democratic primary. You see what happens anytime I bring up issues regarding the trans issue or whatever. You see how the chat and everything blows up. That's why you'll never have moderate to conservative social Democrats, or socially, I shouldn't say social Democrats, Democrats who are socially moderate or conservative. As I just mentioned one thing about, transgender and sports or something like that. Identity politics people lose their fucking mind. It can't happen. It just won't happen. Okay, so Missoula does have the University of Montana. So Montana State's in Bozeman, I guess. I mean, and here's another hard fact for Democrats. And, I don't work in politics anymore, so I can say what I want. I don't give a shit. Democrats, unfortunately, rely on large groups of people who have usually lower turnout rate numbers. As long as you're targeting voters who have lower turnout rate numbers, because low propensity voters are not necessarily Republican. A lot of Democrats as well. When fascist movements rise up, it takes leftists and progressives to counter it. Moderates don't win in this scenario typically. Yeah, I mean, and this is my worry about what's going to happen to Democrats. Democrats are going to win the White House. I mean, we're talking about 2 years from now, 2.5 years from now, win the White House, Senate, and the House. Then they're going to pull a Gerald Ford. Oh, Trump did bad, but we're not going to prosecute him because we don't want to, destroy the nation or some bullshit like that. That's going to come up. That's going to guarantee you that's going to happen. I'm voting for the Democrats because I don't want the Republicans, but I do not trust the Democrats to do things right. Yeah, see, that's the thing. Talarico is not socially moderate. He is pretty left, as you mentioned. Um, but people are assuming that he's on the right just because of the whole religion thing. But I guarantee you, I guarantee you that I guarantee you what's going to happen is the Republicans are going to come out and say, because of his looks, the way he comports himself, and they're going to say he's a soy boy. They're going to say he's a vegetarian. They'll probably even say, is he a closet homosexual? And so they're going to pull shit like that. Guarantee you, the Republicans are going to pull shit like that, and it sucks. Yeah, like the Nick Fuentes guy. I never heard of that guy until like last year, like December or maybe January of this year. Never heard of him before. Like, I don't know, like Joe Rogan, to me, Joe Rogan, he's a stupid person's idea of a smart person. That's what he is. And a lot of the Republican online sphere is stupid people's ideas of smart people, like Donald Trump. They literally already claimed that he was trans. There you go. See, they're going to pull that shit. That never hurt Lindsey Graham. Nice one. No, I don't know if you ignore the attack. You counter the attack. You don't deny it. You don't attack it. You flip the attack and say, yeah, they want to talk about stuff that you know isn't true because they don't want to tell you about the stuff that is true. They don't want to talk about how they're going to give more tax cuts to the wealthy. They're not going to talk about how they're taking your Social Security money and putting it in the pockets of people in Washington. They're not going to tell you about that. They want to deflect the issues. Turn that issue around. See, communications people in the Democratic Party are horrible, horrible. I mean, messaging, just look at Democratic messaging. I mean, Joe Rogan just sounds like a smooth brain to me. I mean, he sounds like an orangutan. Oh, absolutely. So I'm just reading the comments while we wait for some numbers to come in. We really haven't had much. This is just kind of staying the same. I don't think we've had anything new. The Iowa one is staying the same as well. We'll flip back over there. Yeah, but look up here. We're not. I mean, Feenstra is not necessarily pulling huge numbers. Of course, Lyon County will be the biggest one, but a lot of that fourth congressional district is actually going for Lane or Lon. So yeah, I mean, we'll see how that pans out. Well, see, and it would be interesting to see. What I'm kind of interested in is who is running and organizing campaigns like Talarico. I have problems with Graham Plattner, but the campaign is run really well. Um, To me, the way that you win is you build up good local consultants. That if they continue to lose, you kick them out. That's why Florida sucks. I mean, if I were a voter in California, that'd be a hard one. Um, I probably would have voted for Tom Steyer. Half hour until California closes, and we'll see how late we are watching that one. Yeah, my election history channel has had 39,000 views over the last 48 hours. That's the reason why I've been focusing way more on that channel. Getting close to 25,000 on that channel as well. Our turnout versus D turnout doesn't matter if one of them has a non-competitive primary. So take for example the Iowa Senate. This was a non-competitive primary, 131,000, but you had a competitive primary here. You have 138,000. But you do have a competitive primary for governor. Oh, wait. You do have a competitive primary for governor. So here's Josh Turek. This is pretty much like 50-50. It's like, yeah. So somebody just said, "What's the use if Trump is planning to never leave?" That's my thing. That's why I've almost that's one of the reasons why I kind of haven't done a lot of political stuff. Is I still am not necessarily certain that. I mean, he might let the Democrats win the House and the Senate. He's just going to do everything through the executive. He's just going to be like, I own everything, fuck it. And the Supreme Court's going to let him do it. Not seeing much movement in a lot of these races. I'm just going to stay on this Iowa one for now, I think. Trump won't leave. Doomerism is such a Reddit coded thing. First of all, I'm not on Reddit, so I don't know. Okay. All I know when Steve Bannon says, I know Donald Trump will get a third term, that means they have a plan. All I know is whenever I've been saying this stuff and people kept poo pooing me in 2024, came true. No, but okay, Trump doesn't have the. This is a good point. Trump doesn't have the support to remain in office, just like Orban didn't have the support after Magyar's tossed him out. Magyar beat the shit out of Orban. It wasn't a close 50-50 race. He dominated Orban. If something like that happened, yeah, I mean, Democrats have to win like 60-40 to get there, like what we saw in Hungary. Okay? Close election, they didn't. I mean, let's put this in perspective. And this is one of the problems I have with Democrats. They never think 3 or 4 steps ahead. They're always thinking of what's in front of them. Why did the Republicans get all those votes and everything from Fulton County in Georgia. What are they planning? The Democrats are like, oh, they just took it from Georgia. But they don't even think about what could the Republicans be doing with those ballots? What are they doing to try to set up that they're going to say the election is stolen, this, that, or the other? Okay, start thinking 3-4 steps ahead, Democrats, because you never fucking do that. That's the problem I have with them. It isn't too big to rig. Just got to rig a few states. Because I'll tell you, if Trump would have called Georgia and had someone that was his ally on the phone trying to switch those votes, they would have found them. And the Supreme Court's given Trump nearly everything he wants. It's weird. As far as policy, like immigration, citizenship, stuff like that, Supreme Court's going against them. But as far as just saying, have open corruption, the Supreme Court's just letting them have it. I'm telling you, here's what he owns the army, people. He's putting in the generals that are his loyalists. A lot of people in the army right now are these gun-toting, one-tooth rednecks. Who do you think ICE is full of right now? People that will surround that building to keep him in office. Okay, now, he's not going to leave. Would he eventually have to leave? Will he be forced? Yes. But it's not going to be pretty, folks. I'm just telling you that. It's not going to be pretty. Yeah, we're not. Let's see what's happening in Montana. Not much. I'm just waiting for. I don't even know what we're going to get from California in the first few minutes. I mean, I truly believe right now. I mean, I don't know how many of you are from other countries, but in almost all other countries, you'll see that when you get a ballot, it's a piece of paper. You get a pen. You then mark or cross out on the paper. You fold it the fuck up and you put it in a box. Here, we say, yeah, go ahead and put your vote in a machine. What it'll spit out, who knows? It's like all the technology, we're so into technology, though technology is like the worst thing when it comes to elections, right? I like in Britain, you put it in a box, then they go ahead, take all of those boxes to the counting center, they open them up, you can see the ballots being counted, and they don't announce the results until all the ballots are cast. America should do it just like the Brits do. Okay, but the Box 13 scandal was 80 years ago. Right? I mean, you're not going to have the Duke of Duval there now. Yeah, I mean, I think nowadays there's a little bit more oversight. So, I am, but again, go back to when Vern Buchanan ran for the first time for Congress in Katherine Harris's old seat, right? There were like 3 or 4 precincts from Sarasota County that showed zeros in the congressional race, though they were all Democratic when it came to the U.S. or the gubernatorial race and other showed 0-0, and like Buchanan won by a few hundred votes. If those other races, like the gubernatorial race, had reflected in the congressional race, then Vern Buchanan wouldn't have won. But what did Sarasota say? Oh, we can't do anything. It was in the computer. Sorry. So Vern Buchanan won. Look that up. That was, I think, 2006. I think. All right, so we're now 21 minutes till California, and we might not be on for a lot of California because I need to do the video editing for my upcoming video. We've not had much from here. This is getting like, it's staying around that 1.5% or upper 1.6, 1.7. If you're an American and you're not scared of the fact that Elon Musk has all of our information because he was just able to go into the federal government and take it, I mean, and this is one of the problems I have. What's happening in America is fucking insane compared to like anything we've ever seen. And the American public's just like, ha. Me, like I said, not my problem anymore. I have Slovak citizenship. I'm going to go over to Europe. And all that, not my problem anymore. But it's just so lackadaisical how Americans don't care that just fucking open corruption is happening. What happened, I mean, I'm not saying this is based on empirical evidence. This is just my pure opinion. When it came to Kamala Harris, when did she really lose the campaign? She lost it when Donald Trump said they're eating the dogs. You'd figure that'd be the point where she won it, but that's where she actually lost it, because what they did is, instead of focusing on what they're going to do for the people, the Democrats just went right back to the Trump will screw it up. Let's just go after Trump and say he's an idiot. That's not a winning path. When will America ever get back to a happy time, guys? I don't think it's ever been. See, this is where I'm totally different compared to other people. I've never thought that America was a great country. We can't give our people health care. We sit there and talk about our space programs, but no Nazis, no NASA. We have more people in jail than any other free country. We just let people shoot and have guns left and right. We're not good at education. Americans cannot find fucking America on a map. You show them a picture of the vice president, they won't know who that is. Though Trump probably doesn't know who it is now anyways. America has always created a system of keeping people stupid, poor, and just all that money funneling to the rich. Never been a great country. Never. Ever. And another thing with Kamala Harris, when you run commercials about how she supports, when they were talking about the transgender bathroom and all that kind of stuff during football games, don't tell me that issue doesn't kill you. That's another thing. Democrats, you got to pick what issues you want to fight on. And they die on the wrong hills a lot of times. But see, okay, I lived in the 1980s, right? I lived in the 1980s. I remember the 1980s. Um, the 80s were better than now, but you still didn't have healthcare. You still didn't have, you know, there were things that were better in the 80s, which was a one person family, a family income with just one person making the money in the family could buy a house. That was with high interest rates as well. Living in America has become unobtainable. But even with that being the case, America's, as far as I'm concerned, if you can't have a national healthcare system, you suck. Okay. Democrats didn't think ran too much on culture war stuff. It was Republicans. Um, yeah, but here's the thing about the whole culture war stuff. If the Republicans say, okay, because I hear this argument all the time, people saying that the Democrats ran on, didn't run on the cultural issues, the Republicans did. But why did the attacks work? When the Republicans said something even absurd, a lot of people said, that sounds like something the Democrats would do. Inner reflection and ask yourself why people believe that's the case. Well, I'm seeing this is like, all the deregulation under Reagan led to a lot of problems. Right, right. And here's the problem with the Democrats. They never change it back, right? We're going to get rid of the Bush tax cuts. No, make them permanent, right? I mean, the Democrats never, Biden flipped some shit around, right? But the Democrats, for all intents and purposes, do not change what the Republicans screwed up. They don't even try, because the ones in Congress are benefiting from the system too. Nope, I know. Nope. Anyone voting on culture war stuff was already voting Republican? Nope, because I can tell you one thing. When it comes to that culture war stuff, especially with some of those issues, I very much am with the Republicans and not the Democrats. I know a lot of people who vote Democratic, but are hesitant to do so, or at least were. Now they're like, we can't have Trump be elected. Very hesitant to do so, and some didn't even vote because of those issues. Again, you got to get out of a bubble and get into where all the people are to know where people are. And it's not true. They were not going to vote Republican. Okay? I'm telling you that. A lot. Go look at the polls and go look at when they say, do you believe trans athletes of the like whatever gender they were born with should be competing in those sports? Yes or no? Go look at the polls and see what Democrats say. And by the way, the fact that I'm even talking about this shows that Democrats can't let it go. And if you can't let it go, and this is the Republicans, like the Republicans will talk about the trans issue or something like that. They just know the Democrats will take the bait and just sit there and talk about it and go, thank you very much. They'll just take the bait. And even if they were voting Republican, you've now turned them out, right? Think 3 or 4 steps ahead of time. Think 3 or 4 steps ahead. Don't look at stuff right here. 850,000. Well, okay, so somebody says 850,000 people in the collar counties of southeast Pennsylvania, they didn't return the ballots. Pennsylvania is not a big mail-in I mean, you can mail it in or you can go ahead and drop it off or whatever. They're not it's pretty much an election day state. Pennsylvania is. Yeah, more I mean, getting back to Iowa, I don't see how Feenstra can win if he's not even winning all of the counties in his congressional district. Because this is the fourth up here. Or like in this area. I don't know. My Life is Branded said it exactly. Democrats are so reactive and not proactive. Yes. Yes. Mainstream corporate Democrats take the bait because they're basically hollow when it comes to policy. I agree with you there. Yeah. I mean, if we want to talk about the identity politics Democrats, it's usually the corporatist Democrats who are the identity politics Democrats who are also usually the APAC Democrats. They're all, it's like the holy trinity, okay, of establishment Democrats. I don't know why he's such garbage. But even Hinson, she's only winning a quarter of voters are voting against her. Story County still hasn't come in. Oh, Charlie Kirk is like the guy debated like 15-year-olds. I mean, like, there you go. There's the conservative movement for you. I mean, I think the Democrats will win the midterms. I'm not worried about the Democrats. If everything is fair, I think Democrats win the midterms. I mean, it's like funny because like Charlie Kirk is another one of those that signify the brain rot of America. I mean, I hate to say it, but like those who have come on the political scene the last 10 years really signify the brain rot that has happened in American politics. And the reason why is all you need is this goddamn thing right here, and you're somehow a political expert. As long as you convince enough people, you even got that Neanderthal smooth brain Joe Rogan becoming politically. I mean, let me put it this way. Let me put it all in a nutshell. The fact that a political candidate should go on Joe Rogan to win votes shows just how fucked America is. That's all you need. That's all you need right there. No, you know what? I don't think the brain rot started with Sarah Palin. I think it's always been there. Go back, go on YouTube and watch videos of people back in the 1960s when they did the man on the street interviews. They were people who wanted to sound smart, but what they were saying was actually pretty dumb. Now people are proud to be stupid, right? But even back then, like they weren't saying things that were intelligent. They'd maybe use more colorful words and say things in a way in which the grammatical structure is different, but they didn't really say anything. Well, and like Nick Fuentes, um, from what I in okay, I'm getting outside of my comfort zone with this, I'll admit. To me, Nick Fuentes seems to come from a a lifestyle that gets in the gaming world and just likes using the N word and calling people names. To me, Nick Fuentes isn't a political person. He's just more of, he's like the Howard Stern of racism to me. And he just uses racism to do his Howard Stern stuff. Okay? And I think like the I mean Andrew Tate, because he's had criminal shit against him and stuff like that. He's a bad person, but I think a lot of the right wing conservative movement is just reactionary. Oh, I'm going to say this so that somebody sits there and says that I'm something when we start a fight. It's like no thought to it. Yeah, see, here's okay, we're in the 2020s right now. Yeah, go back and look at the 1920s. See how sophisticated America was back then. Go look at the Wilson era. Go look at a lot. I mean, my whole entire video, I did my video about, and it's ironic because from 5 minutes from now, the polls close in California. I did my whole video about the political history of California on my election history channel. Racism against Asian Americans continued until, I mean, you can argue it continued today, but I mean, like, institutional, and when I mean institutional racism, I'm not talking about that it's hidden. I'm talking about we're passing laws that say we do not want people of Asian descent in our companies. That lasted until the 1950s. Okay. Earl Warren early on was very much for the exclusion of Chinese and Japanese and other Asian Americans. He eventually said, "Oh, I, regret having those positions," but he never apologized for it. So, and it's funny because I changed the name of it. I did change it. I originally called the video "Racist to Liberals," and people thought that because I had Reagan, Nixon, and Gavin Newsom on there, people are thinking I was calling Reagan and Nixon a racist, which I wasn't if they had watched the video. To me, that was projection on their part, right? If you think that you haven't watched it and you think that I'm calling Reagan and Nixon a racist in this video and you haven't watched it and that's what you think, I think you're projecting a little bit much about what you are, okay? But anyways, the racism that happened in California for years. I mean, not like even past when Southern Democrats were essentially in control, it was bad in California. Bad. So, yeah. I mean, the gerrymandering will change some things. I don't think the gerrymandering is enough for the Democrats to lose. I think they're going to win enough. I think as of right now, they'll pick up 3 districts in Iowa alone. Minimum 1, probably 2, but possibly 3. Nixon and Reagan, or Reagan and Nixon, were racist. I mean, the only thing was I didn't say it in the video. Now, if anyone, and I didn't even do it in the video I'm doing now for 1980, I haven't mentioned it, but I kind of hint, and I don't hint it to, maybe I do to I hint it to make a point, but I do say that Ronald Reagan used race in a way to get people who were more likely to be racist to vote for him. Now, if you want to call that racism or not, whatever. But, Trump does the same thing. I mean, this election's close and we got 88%. All right, we're getting down how much? 30 seconds until California closes. Woo! Finally, we're there. And that's the reason I started the live stream at 8 o'clock today, is I didn't want to start when New Jersey opened, because I've been editing my video for election history all day, and I'm only halfway done with it. I'm trying to determine if I'm going to finish it tonight or not, or just get up really early in the morning and get it done. Yeah, you're right. Scott County hasn't come in. I thought it was in before. Or no, it was Dubuque that was in. Yeah, the Quad Cities over here. All right, 10 o'clock. The polls are closed. Let's just go to the California governors and see if we get some early vote dumps. Probably not, but we might. I don't know. God, look at this clusterfuck of a poly market right here. Jesus Christ. All right, so let's see if we get anything. 58 candidates. Okay. I'm going to give props to Decision Desk HQ. They literally have the picture for every single candidate that is running. Good job. Good. Congratulations. Impressive. That's impressive. Well, there's Eric Swalwell. Okay, let's skip back to, wait. Living for God Demote. Let's see how many votes he gets just for shits and giggles. I'd be an atheist that would vote for the guy just for shits and giggles. Okay, well, what I can do is I'm going to move this up to the top. I also, God damn it. And oh, come on. And I really want to see this House 40 to see who. I'm gonna put those at the top. Um, wow, you're right. It's close now. There are still a few more counties with zero. Yeah, I mean, I think I'm going to just kind of put a lot of these up here now that I had already. Because the only other one that we're watching that's beside California is the Iowa governor's race. All right. Oh, I've had a long day today. No, here we go. Hilton in the lead. Where's that? Now Bashir is in the lead. So that's Napa County, Hilton up. Solano County, okay. So let's look at. So we are getting some. We are getting some numbers. Um, what I want to see first. God, I hate that it's going to do all of those. I think this bodes well. I'm going to just say this. I think this bodes well, possibly for Tom Steyer. No, maybe not. So it does seem like people are abandoning Katie Porter right now. Okay. In the first initial results. Now, where do they go? Bianco isn't getting much either. But we got two, like we have two right now. So let's put reported. There we go. I'm kind of surprised Hilton's up by one because as of Napa is a pretty Democratic county. Oh, God has Living for God has 17 votes. Awesome. Yeah, I mean Porter for her the writing was on the wall probably 2 weeks ago, right? It was 2 weeks ago where you could say, yeah, this is done. All right, now we wait. I mean, I'm hopefully they had some early vote dumps, so I'm hoping that we'll see some bigger counties with some early vote dumps. We'll just go up here. Yeah, I mean, Swalwell's votes really did just go, you know, over to Bashir. It just like purely went to him. That is true. Yeah, no, it's just a matter of waiting. And sorry, like I said, I am beat today. Billionaire for the middle little man. It's like JB Pritzker, right? Though I'm losing, kind of losing respect for him, to be honest. Oh, that's the thing about California. California is establishment Democratic territory, right? It's not. It's not. Um. Oh, we got some more votes in. Oh wow, looked like a big county came in there. What county was that? I was going to say, oh, that's Orange County. Okay, so that's interesting. Let's go down there. Let's see what Orange County had. Can we get Orange County's results? Now that's interesting because, yeah, I think it's going to be Bashir and Hilton because Orange County is where Katie Porter's from. She's pulling nowhere there. Okay, and then we got Monterey. Oh, okay. We now have Santa Clara as well. I'm kind of. How many votes are. Monterey won't have much. Okay. Yeah, see, these Inland Empire areas are going to probably go up. Steyer won 100% of the votes in Kings County. Don't think that's going to stay. Nope, actually, it disappeared. Actually, those all disappeared. So right now, Orange is disproportionately determining the trend. Watching this one. Just because it's two incumbents against each other, that's so close. Oh, that's interesting. This is old McClintock area, so I'm wondering if. Yeah, it's still Orange. It's going to be the. Or wait. Votes. Yeah, Orange is still. San Bernardino, that should be more Democratic. Well, actually, San Bernardino can be. Yeah. So here's the thing I got to ask you. It's 24, 29, 17 here. I mean, okay, wait. So now we do have San Mateo County. But once we get Alameda County in, we get Los Angeles County. how much will those affect? Because it's like Humboldt County, that should be Democratic, but will the split happen there? There's no votes from Santa Barbara. If you're saying SB meaning Santa Barbara, there's no votes there. Okay, Nevada, Steyer, yeah. Wonder why they're making these mistakes. Okay, Sacramento is now in. I'll tell you, I think we're in a three-way race. Well, let's see, 58 more candidates. Yeah, so we're gonna have a Democrat in there. Katie Porter has dropped significantly, so her votes are being distributed there. Um, I don't know if any of the three are safe right now. Because with what we're seeing reporting right now, we would expect to see Hilton in the lead. Oh, come on. Because this one is a really interesting one to watch because Kevin Kiley was a Republican, switched over to independent, I think maybe after redistricting. I don't remember. The question is, does he take on a Republican or a Democrat? So that's what we're going to be watching there. Okay, I can see Becerra safe. But I don't know if Hilton is with what's come in so far. I mean, yeah, you're looking at a 10% difference. Why do they keep on adding like counties and then taking them off? Yeah, because these, I'm surprised Steyer's third in Santa Clara. Honestly. But remember, Hilton, doesn't he come from that tech world as well? And you still got Los Angeles County. What's that going to do? God, what is. They're screwing up a lot of these. Mitsui is leading. She's being challenged. They've been saying that this could be a close race. I'm waiting to see what happens when Los Angeles County gets some results in. Porter's second there. Ah. Because I assume, and I assume looking at this, that maybe Hilton will win San Diego County. Possibly. I mean, I think Bashir is in. Let's look at this one. Do we have the Democrat? Now we do have the Democrats second here. Because if the Democrats win, this is one that the Democrats can pick up. Oh, Bashir is now in the lead and starting to move in the lead more. So, Los Angeles County's come in. So there we go. Yeah, it's going to be Bashir and Hilton. If Steyer can only be up by 2% over Hilton, it's over. Oh, here we go. Oh, yeah, because votes just came in. Oh, come on. What percentage is that? So Karen Bass so far seems to be in good shape. The Dem is still second. Let's go back to that Iowa governor's race. Man, that's close. Sure is starting to pull out a little bit of a lead or not. Yes, okay. Well, now these numbers are starting to get closer. Hilton versus Steyer. Oh, that's why Alameda County came in. Steyer second. Bashir's fine. He's going through. Hilton and Steyer might be battling it out. It's possible. I want to see some more results, but it's possible. What I really want to see, because well, if it's correct, yeah, Steyer is winning Santa Barbara. We'll have to see what San Diego does. San Francisco, you got Steyer ahead. This is not necessarily over. Let's see what San Diego County does. That is the next big county that's really, that I would say we're really waiting on. Mendocino County, Steyer ahead. 725 votes. Living for God demotes 725 votes. Awesome. Yeah, this is getting closer actually. And it's funny because um like with Gavin Newsom, I don't want him to be a Democratic candidate, but I met him back in 2005 in San Francisco. And if you want to talk about one guy who is the easiest to talk to, that will make you feel like you're the only one in the room with him and talk, he's the guy. He is really personable. He is really nice. And like he'll treat you and talk to you like he's not focused, he's talking to you or whatever group of people. I give him that. Well, actually, we got Kern County. That's going to probably go heavily for Hilton, like heavily. So we do have Kern County for Hilton, probably. So we have Kern, and then we have San Diego County. So we got to see how that goes. Actually, somebody just mentioned Riverside, and we got Bianco there. Wow. So yeah, Kern will, because it's Bakersfield, it's going to give Hilton a lot. Well, I think it's going to give Hilton a lot. Could it give it to Bianco? Because now we got some counties here like Riverside that has Bianco there. So could we see a split there? Could we actually see more of a split in the Republican vote than we think? See, I've only been to California like 4 days in my entire life. Two of the days were those days that I was just telling you about with Gavin Newsom. Yeah, nothing's happening in that Iowa race. Yeah, I want to see Kern and San Diego. Those are the ones I want to see. Karen Bassley looks to be in good. Oh wow, Kent Calvert has just taken a huge jump. I mean, it's going to be these two going into the. Well, maybe. I mean, it's going to be a Republican seat anyway. This is one of the ones they drew for the Republicans. Yeah, let's keep on watching this one. Because if the Democrat doesn't finish second, then that's going to be kind of a Democratic loss. Yeah, because the main big counties left are Kern and San Diego, I think. It looks like all the other big counties at least have some results in. I mean, except Ventura, I guess. Ventura, Kern, and San Diego. Something just came in. I don't know what came in, but something just came in. Was this one of those Steyer 100%? No, there's Steyer winning up. I mean, you got to realize some of these places like Mendocino County, that's like really kind of like old hippie territory. My favorite current YouTuber right now, and he has been for years, is somebody called Gabriel Traveler, and he's from Willits, which is in Mendocino County, and he says like it's like really like hippie and stuff like that. Oh, Kern came in. Yeah, see, that's why I expected. I was like, it's going to be Republican. Have a cookie. I mean, we might end early because with the mail votes, things could change slowly, slowly. And this is why I think Steyer could do well, is because Bianco is still getting a decent chunk of the vote. That takes away from Hilton. But like Katie Porter is like significantly down. That's why I'm saying watch for Steyer purely because of that. Living for God Demote, 798. Good job. The atheist here is rooting you on. Go online and see if San Diego County actually has something up. CBS News fires Scott Pelley of 60 Minutes. I'm not surprised. He didn't have much good to say about him, and I'm sure he doesn't really care. Okay, 3 million. I'm looking at the New York Times. Yeah, there are more. They have more votes and on Decision Desk than on New York Times. Somebody named Thunder Parley running as a Democratic candidate. So I got the election results up here from San Diego County. See if they got anything that comes up. So we'll see. I don't know. Come on. More votes. Okay, so I have Calvert as a winner, but obviously still waiting for the other. We've had some movement in Iowa. I don't know if there's recount territory, but it's amazing 211,000 votes. And we are already over 3 million in California. Well, it's like Kamala Harris. She was on board with Medicare for all, co-sponsored the bill. Then she backed away from it once they were going to hand her the nomination. They've just fucking handed it to her. Hey, Danielson, good to see you in the chat. Like I said, I don't know how long I'm going to be holding on tonight because I've been editing all day, so I am dead. Nothing's really happening in the LA mayor's race. Karen Bass is ahead. Um, and if this stays like this, she's going to be reelected as mayor of LA. If Spencer Pratt is the nominee, so my assumption is like almost all the other ones are. I mean, they don't run as Republicans, but they're probably, I mean, or Democrats, but they're probably almost all Democrats. See, now this is getting closer. I think that's probably because Bianco is getting more of a percentage. Did a big county just come in? No? No, Harris getting nomination was a bad thing because it didn't allow the voters to pick who the nominee should be. That's why. That's just waiting. See, I don't see how Steve. I mean, like, I'm just waiting. I don't see how Steve Kornacki can be doing all this kind of shit and all that. Like, I just, how? Well, San Francisco is. Oh, that's Marin. Actually, how is that? Steyer is second. Steyer is ahead in San Francisco. I got to get right over it, right? So Steyer is ahead, but I don't think they've changed. Danielson, thank you for the super chat. Dave Levy, your live stream is banned with many of these Senate races where Democrats are guaranteed to lose, like most of the South. What kind of vote share would be considered decent? A good performance in each state? Well, I don't know. I'd have to go through all those. Um, I mean, I think we're headed into uncharted territory here with these elections. So I don't know. Part of the reason I don't know is I'm friggin' tired right now. My brain is like working at like probably like at I'm probably at a third of a tank right now. So this turned out to be a mediocre night for both D's and MAGA. I don't think that would be an unfair assumption. I could see how one could say that. Yeah, I could see that. Oh, really? Oh, that okay. So this is so yeah. Well, this is bad for MAGA. That's bad for MAGA. So okay, so now we only have California. But we'll probably be ending the live stream at the top of the hour, just so you know. Steyer could still make it. I mean, he's not out of it by any stretch of imagination, but no, I think Uncharted in a good way or a bad way. I just think we're gonna see who in this country we're gonna see who are truly the cultist of the Republican or of the Trump party or not. So it's just really not a good thing. I would say not a good thing. Come on, San Diego. Come on, Ventura. Those are the only two I'm really waiting on. Yeah, because when I started doing my editing this morning, I woke up at about 6:30 and started it. Now I got to wake up at 6:30 and 6:30 in the morning tomorrow, probably finish the editing and then start writing the script for the new video, which I still don't know which one I'm going to do yet. No, I mean, if it's Bashir and Hilton, then Bashir will win the general election, right? I mean, there's not going to be a Republican's not going to win this general election. The question was it going to be Hilton and Bianco as the top two candidates? And it looked that way when Swalwell was in there. Once he wasn't in there, then things changed. How can voters have chosen the Democratic nominee in 2024 with Biden staying in as late as he did? Exactly. That's the point. He stayed in as late as he did. He fucked us. Okay, I'm sorry, but Biden fucked America. We're in this shit right now because Biden and Jill Biden are two stubborn assholes. I mean, I don't see why Steyer can't make up 200,000 votes. I think we need to see what happens in some other counties first. Remember, Hilton and Bianco are going to top out early. And this always happens in California, right? You see how many more votes come for Democrats, more and more and more, like over the coming week, right? You always see like Democrats up, but then they increase their, right? Whenever we talk about not the last election, but the Hillary election, right? Hillary was not leading in the popular vote, but then as all those California votes came in over like a week, she ended up getting a big lead. So that's the thing about California. A lot of these votes that will be counted late, like really late, can really shift the momentum. That's why we're not really done with this one yet. What am I video editing? I'm doing the videos for my election history channel. That's my main channel right now. This voting trend is very much a secondary channel. I assume Humboldt is going to be Democratic. I probably won't, to tell you the truth, with the exception of doing these live streams when I want to, and maybe doing early voting numbers for the election, I don't know where this channel is going. What has happened with my election history channel over the past week has been very promising that it could be like literally my main income. Like I have a number of income streams right now, but it mainly could be my main income. And if I spend all my time and effort on doing election history, my election history channel, I'm not going to be spending time on this, which will actually kind of be a relief. San Diego County is in, or is it on? Is it on? Where I don't see where. I'm looking at their website. Oh, okay. Yeah, so Hilton 32, Beshara 24. Okay. Steyer 18. Yeah, it's going to be Hilton and Beshara. That's who it's going to be. Hilton got 32.49%. I expected him to be in the lead there. Yeah, so that's what we got, guys. It's going to be Hilton Beshara. That's, maybe I got to reload this one. It'll show up. Yeah, it's not showing up here. And now I'll put Hilton in the lead. I mean, it doesn't matter because it goes to a runoff anyway. Now, I still wanted Nikki Haley as president. She don't want people to have health care. She wants people to die because they can't afford to go to the hospital. I won't fucking vote for a Republican because they're horrible people that want people to die for not having health care. I'm sorry, I won't vote for that, and I won't support that. Okay, now we got it in. All right. So you know what? We're gonna go ahead and end it for tonight because I mean, I don't think there's really California. The Iowa stuff is done now. California now with San Diego in. I think that's with Hilton with that amount. Um, and Hilton going second, pretty much there. I don't think Steyer can do it. I mean, how much money has Steyer spent to lose elections? I mean, really, he's spent a lot of money to lose elections. Um, but yeah, I think we're gonna end it tonight just because I am absolutely exhausted, and yeah, I think that we pretty much know what's gonna happen. Looks like Karen Bass. I mean, it looks like she's gonna be against Spencer Pratt. I don't think there are any other real changes or anything. I think everything's kind of predicted. Let's go back to this. Jesus. Let's go back to this. So this one's interesting, but like I said, I'm dead. So we'll wait to see who wins this one. So it's pretty close. I think this is about the only one to really keep an eye on. Is this Montana House District 1, honestly. Because, like I said, with California stuff, we're going to have votes coming in for days, and those votes could literally change a lot of stuff. So we'll see. But yeah, like when San Diego County came in, I was just like, I had a feeling that Hilton was going to be ahead, and like by this amount. It's now turned into a Democratic county, but you still have the areas where Daryl Issa represented and all that kind of stuff. You still have I mean, you used to have, back in the day, you had like Orange County, San Diego County, and Illinois DuPage County is like the bastions of like Reagan conservatism. Okay. And like now essentially San Diego County and DuPage are blue. And for all intents and purposes, orange is kind of that way now. Right? So yeah. So wait, what? Hold on. What did the Supreme Court do? Yeah, so I think we're done for the evening. I mean, this Montana House race is getting close. Um, that's going to be the only one left, and it's going to be interesting because this is a competitive seat. This is not a low hanging fruit seat, but it is one that Democrats have a good year. This is going to be one of those ones that on the periphery they can go ahead and pick off. So that would be good. Um, oh, Alabama can use the gerrymandered maps. I still think, regardless of all the gerrymandering, the Democrats are still in good shape. They're, like I said, take Iowa where they're not going to gerrymander. They're going to pick up minimum one, and I think they could pick up three. I think they can pick up Hinson's district. They used to have 3 congressional districts there in the past before, so I think it's absolutely possible. So yeah. All right, guys, I'm going to go ahead and end for today. Thank you all very much for joining me. I let me see before I go. I'm going to see when maybe the next live stream will be. Like I said, I'm not going to be doing any videos on the channel. I'm just doing live streams from now on. So I guess the main primary on the 9th, possibly the main primary on Maine, Nevada, North Dakota, South Carolina. Yeah, that'll be the next one. So the 9th of June. So that'll be a week from now. So yeah. All right, thank you all very much. I will see you later. Have a wonderful day wherever it is you are, and thank you all for the responses and everything. It's great to hear you all, and thank you all very much for supporting the channel and being subscribers and all. And if you, like I said, I'm not going to be doing as much on this channel anymore, but if you like election history, please go to, just put in the search bar election history and go and be a subscriber. I want to get to 100,000 subscribers on that channel. Almost at 25 right now. So we're moving that way. So thank you all.